Yay, there you are. So here we are. I am TajaEtheral with the Cam Model podcast sponsored by Boleynmodels. Shit guys say to Camgirls. This is episode 13 with Kendi Cumming. Oh my gosh, I had to practice that so bad because I can't remember what episode we were at. So yeah, I had to go back and count. We're at episode 13. Wow.
You need to start a tally or something.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, here we are. I'm with Kendi Cumming. I'm TajaEtheral. Say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I love having you on because I can just start talking to you, rambling about anything, and I lose track of my frame of thought. So I'm gonna try to be organized when I'm talking to you as much as we can.
All right.
Yeah,
we can try. I'm not very good at being organized. That's my
So let me just say point. What I think the topic will be, and I told you pre-recording, is that I want to talk a little bit about cam models of color, black cam models, specifically because this is what I usually hear a lot about. If I'm a black girl, can I make money as a cam model? Now, let me just pause for a second. If you are just pause for effect. If you listen to this podcast a lot, please do not click off. I feel like I need to say that to people because I know we have people who tell me that they love listening to the podcast and they're multiracial or whatever, ethnicities. This will not be a podcast just specifically for people, black women or people of color. It could give you introspect into what we deal with, what other people deal with, and just kind of laugh it off a little bit. So the reason why I wanted to do this podcast, because I don't write about race. I don't write about it. I don't, podcast about it, whatever. But I think it's important because I frequently see it on the forums where people will wonder, I'm brand new, I'm black, or I'm Latino, and then actually, you don't really see anything about Asian models asking questions, do you?
Not so much.
I don't really know, but
I think there are some sites that are they have more of an Asian presence.
Some more than others.
As far as models, and I feel like the sites that are popular with that group aren't necessarily ones that are big on the forums we frequent.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. So but when we talk about forums and people ask me questions, because I did a couple of training sessions for new models, and they seem to have already decided in their minds that because they are black, that means that they're going to be at a disadvantage. And it's kind of difficult to talk about, but the bottom line is that's not true.
No, it isn't.
It's not true. So,
and it's really just about finding your people.
Finding your people, exactly. So it's kind of complicated. The reason why I don't talk about it because I'm like, how do you talk to somebody who may have experienced discrimination, racism in their everyday life? How do you try to convince that person that it could be different when they're online, especially when there's so many trolls? So
yeah,
it's complicated.
It is. And I mean, it's about finding your people. I mean, that's really all you can do because, there's no one site that's perfect for everybody. You can have somebody who is your typical girl next door and she'll do poorly on a site that we may do well on. Mm-hmm. So, it's a matter of finding where the traffic is for your, for your group, for your people.
Mm-hmm. So when you say finding them for your people, sometimes what I have noticed in my years of doing this is that what people will think are your people, and let's be specific, your people doesn't necessarily mean black men with money who's spending. Your people doesn't mean you need to target black men, because remember, this is the internet and there are people from all over the world who maybe have a like for women of color, a specific ethnicity, but don't do it. They're shy, but online it's all game. So
Yeah.
But yeah,
they don't have to hide who they are.
They don't have to hide who they are and who they like. So then there's also the situation where if you are attracting a certain type of person, it could be based on niche. It could be something that has to do with a specific specialty that you do.
Yep, it could be, you know, maybe you have blonde hair. Maybe you're a BBW. Maybe,
Right.
like there are a variety of things. Maybe you're submissive. Maybe you're dominant. Like there are so many different things that, add to the equation. Like camming is not one size fits all as far
No.
as like, what people like. I mean, there are people who I've watched who just freaking blow it out of the water. They knock it out of the park, earnings wise. And like, if you saw them on the street, like you probably wouldn't look more than twice. Like it wouldn't be like like different things call different people, I guess.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. So, what was I trying to say? I was wondering because like sometimes, and that's not, it's very complicated because people think that because some people think maybe models, they may enter the realm, women of color or men of color, trans color, whatever. They enter it thinking that because they are like, say, black. And that's why I'm speaking from that standpoint because that's what I am. So people think
Wait,
that
you are? What?
Yeah, girl, black. That's me. So they think that you're supposed to behave one way, but they don't realize that there can be diversity within ethnicities.
Yes.
So that's
that
another
puts me so
complicated
much.
thing. They think that because if you are of color, that you must only fit this mold because there are guys who are looking specifically for a woman of color who's dominant, who can dominate them, can be mean to them, who can, or be sensual dom, who can tease them, or be the GFE. And then there are guys who strictly they like women of color who are maybe submissive. Sometimes they want to do racial fetishes. Sometimes not all of them. Sometimes they just want a sweet woman of this particular structure, and then they might also want a Latina, and they might want a white woman. So it's the internet, it's the world. So it doesn't mean just because you're black that you're only going to be like ghetto shit talking Cardi B type of bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On cam, some of them actually want somebody a little different. They might want to Kerry Washington. They might want they might want something, it's not all the same. So like,
oh no, you're definitely right. And I feel like, and I mean, obviously different people want different things, but I feel like with cams, like camming versus like phone sex even, like where they may not have like an audio first. Like I get way more people on the phone who are like, oh, you sound this way. Oh, where are you from? Did you buy your pictures? I get that one sometimes.
You mean like when you actually use your own pictures as who you are?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and they still want to know, are you that person? Like, oh, because they want to know, like, oh, you don't really sound black.
Yes. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. That welcomes my work. I remember years ago I worked for this one phone sex company, and how long ago was that? Like 6 or 7 years ago, I worked for this one particular company, and she was a cool lady, but she straight up told me she was a white lady in California. And she told me, she said, "Listen, I just want to let you know, my customers, they want to talk to a black girl." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And she goes, "But they don't want to talk to Oprah." They don't want to talk to Oprah, okay? She said they want to talk to Shaniqua. I was like, oh, okay. And I couldn't even get mad at her because that's the thing. I was like, I understood what she meant.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And she was so right. She was so right. They didn't want to talk to Oprah Winfrey. They wanted to talk to that fucking ghetto bitch down the street. So it varies, but I mean, it doesn't mean that you can't be who you are. You can't like market yourself as is, but sometimes you have to play different roles. But there's no it's weird that like they be talking about this kind of, but like yeah, it's totally possible to be Black, Latina, Asian, and then like rock it and make a substantial amount of money doing this. You just kind of have to focus and not think about what color you are. You know what color you are. You know who you are.
Yeah.
You know who you are. But yeah.
And trying different sites. I mean, like there are some sites that I feel like, you know, I feel like because you know, I mean, there's a variety of factors with any site, but like there are some sites that I am definitely more successful on because I'm filling a void in the market.
What site do you think that you're doing the best on? But see, the thing is, I know what you're saying. You say it. Like, if you say what that site is, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the best site for Black women. Like, okay, I'll just say it.
Yeah.
I think sometimes that StreamAid is probably one of the better sites for people with, for all cultures. But the bottom of when it gets down to it, like, some people like to think that the game is rigged. They only put a certain specific people up there. But I know girls who are various races who are excelling on that site. Yeah.
I've been top row before, you know. If I put in more than 20 hours, I'm going to be on the top row.
But even you and besides you and other people, I know they put in there. I know what it takes. But when I take the top people on those sites, particularly StreamAid, and I look at it, there's a common thread. Yes, everyone looks different, but the common thread is you guys are all entertainers. So it doesn't mean that if you're Black that you can't make it to the top. But then it also means what I know too is that because you're at the top doesn't mean you're making all the money.
Very true.
There are people who are placed lower who are making more than some of the people at the top. It's a weird thing. So like, don't mind fuck yourself. Don't worry about the politics of the situation. Just get to work on your own hustle, and try to get, just do it. Don't psych yourself out and think that, because I know that things are hard sometimes for people, but don't carry that into your chat room.
No, I try to go on cam, and like my thought process is, they aren't here to, and I mean, different people have different hustles, but my thing is like when I watch cammers or when I watch, YouTube videos, like vloggers, like people who do it regularly, like my thought process when I'm going into that and watching these people is I want to be entertained. Entertain me. So I don't, there are people who, want to hear your life story, but there are other people who just want you to shoot rainbows at your ass. And I am going to get on cam and I'm going to shoot those motherfucking rainbows out of my ass. It's going to be sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows, even, if my dog got hit by a car. You put on a happy face and, you would be surprised. You would be surprised how much people appreciate that, You don't have to be the prettiest. You can be charismatic and people love you.
Yeah, exactly. Be charismatic, but also make sure you have a high-speed internet connection. And a good
and a good camera. and turn some lights on, please. And, oh my God. If I hear another smoke alarm in the background of somebody's cam feed, I will lose my goddamn mind. I will be watching and I hear that and it like my vagina dries up and I'm like, this is it.
What are you doing?
I'm done for the night.
What's going on back there? Yeah, be charismatic, you know what I'm saying? But one of my favorite, I'll put it out there, we're not dealing with rules here, but one of my favorites, cam models to watch, besides you, of course. But,
Bob.
Yeah.
Stop it some more.
Is, Ola 18. She's like fascinating and she's gross at some points, but she does a lot of spitting and deep throat. And sometimes I watch her and I'm like, oh God, I have to look away because all the spitting. But I also do a lot of spitting. It's weird. I'm weird like that.
See, I like watching her.
I love watching her the way she talks shit.
She is a great performer, and I like that she's
lighting.
She recently changed rooms, I think.
Okay, all right.
It varies because it varies.
Right. So I'm like, some people can actually work it because they got my point of bringing her up is not the shit talker, because I think she's fucking awesome. She's one of the first cameras I ever watched when I got onto free chat sites.
Really?
Yeah, like I used to do it. I was independent cam model. I didn't even know StreamMate, My Free Cams existed. I didn't
Really?
know.
So you started independently?
I was a phone sex operator, and then I went straight to Skype, and then I was an affiliate. It was my phone sex sites for My Free Cams.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea those other sites existed. I had been in the game for
Really?
years. And someone was like, girl, you should get on StreamMate. I'm like, what's StreamMate? They're like, bitch, you've been doing this on Skype. I'm like, yeah. Or Yahoo back then. I was also doing shows on Yahoo.
Oh, God.
Yahoo Messenger. So when one of the first people I remember was Nikki Spade, Kristen Cavallari, and then Ola 18. And I still watch her because I fucking love her. But like, I remember watching her, and I was spending all this money on umbrella lights, soft boxes, ring lights.
Yeah.
Well, not ring lights at that time, but when you go to her room, that girl has got like a lamp.
But she's so entertaining. She's an entertainer.
So entertaining. Exactly. The lighting is crazy. But she's like fucking slapping her ass in the camera, telling people to smell her butthole and like all this crazy shit. And I'm like, I'm in love.
Oh, man, if that's crazy shit, maybe.
I know, but like that was like my my introduction, and she would do this thing where she would hit the camera, like she would poke the camera, like she was poking you in the forehead. Mm-hmm. Like, listen to me, why aren't you tipping? And she would do this crazy shit, and then the money would start raining in. So I was like, hell yeah! So here she is.
She has such a great hustle. It works so well for her.
It does, exactly. So, I mean, you could be a Ola, obviously, because I mean, I think we all look. I think everybody, no matter what color you are, looks up to her. We all look at her. We all watch her. So.
Don't you lie.
Don't you
I know that one person sitting there like, I would never. Yes, I know you have.
Shit. You know who a fucking Ola 18 is. But yeah, so you watch her and you see what she's doing, but you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. But for the love of God, please get your internet in gear. If anything.
Well, okay. Yeah, make sure you have decent internet. I think that a decent webcam also goes a long way, and having the specs on your computer. I mean, if you invest in yourself and in your product, like, if you build it, they will come. Mm-hmm. If you invest in your tech, like, you will end up with, people coming in and spending money on you. I know when I started, I have a bit of a different background than you. Yeah. I have a buddy who, she's a retired porn star now, but she got her start in camming. Mm-hmm. And we reconnected. We've been childhood friends. We reconnected.
You guys on the same trajectory?
And, well, she was camming. And I was like, so what are you, what are you up to, these days? And she was like, oh, well, I'm camming. And I was working a job that was heavily commission, but like they kept cutting my hours because they didn't want to give me health insurance. Even though I was like within 3 months of being there, I was the highest earner that they had in the entire store. I'm very competitive if there are people to compete with.
Right. I like how you said that, if there are people to compete with. Otherwise, I'm in my own lane, so fuck you.
Yeah, no. If there's people to compete with, like, I'm all team me. But if I don't know. Anyways, but she was like, yeah, and I was like, I asked her point blank, like, I was like, so, like, because I didn't know much about camming, and I think I'd watched like My Free Cams, like some of the cameras on there a time or two, and I was like, so how much did you make? How much have you made in your best 2 weeks? Because that's a pay period, right? Mm-hmm. And she told me. And it was more money than I was making per month. And I know how sporadic she can be as far as, dedication. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, shit. If she made that in 2 weeks, like, if I make half that.
And I can work more, yeah.
Yeah, and I can work more, like, I'll still do well. Yeah, my first 2 weeks, I ended up making 4 times what she made in her best 2 weeks.
Did you tell her that you did?
No, I didn't. I did not. I did not. And we ended up on different sites. She had told, because I asked her, I was like, what are good sites? You know, what are sites that you've worked on that you've actually made money on? Mm-hmm. And she was like, and I mean, this is, you know, 5-6 years ago. She was like, well, Chatterbait and My Free Cams. And Chatterbait approved me first. So that's why I went there.
Okay. Chatterbait was like a pain in the butt to get signed up on.
Really? Oh, man, they approved me within 24 hours.
I mean, it was like, they kept telling me that they couldn't see my, I don't remember, it was a long time ago. They kept telling me that the image wasn't right, then the application wasn't for it was crazy.
I had that with StreamMate when I signed up independently.
I did too with StreamMate.
Oh man, I had to send them a letter because they never accepted my thing. Mm-hmm. They never refused me either. They never sent me anything, and I had signed up, and I waited like 3 months, so I sent them a message. I was like, I really want to work for you guys. Could you, you know? I've been waiting for 3 months. Like, please just freaking approve my thing. So they finally approved my account. Or no, they approved my account, and then they refused to give me the payment processor that I wanted, even though it was one of their listed payment processors. Yeah, they refused to FedEx me a check. And I was like, but I live in an area where there's mail fraud, because I lived in a real bad area at the time. Oh, like, there were people, like, stealing out of people's mailboxes. Oh, man. Anyway, so, yeah, they were like, no, we're not going to do that for you. And I was like, but you have it listed.
Yeah, like, what the fuck you mean? I think when I had signed up, I think I had to do a physical print out of the paper and sign it, or maybe I interpreted it to mean that. And then you had to scan it. Like, people, like, it's so funny because I ain't old. I'm not an old bitch, but to compare to some of the people who are starting out now, I'm old. So, like, there's some things that they don't even know about, like having to use a scanner.
Oh, yes.
Or a fax machine. So I think StreamMate, when I had started a couple of years, like, not even, like, I don't know, they required you to print out a hard copy, sign it. Oh, really? Yeah, sign it, and then scan it to your computer and bring it back up. But my scanner was, like, cutting off, like, a centimeter or two of the contract, but I didn't realize it. Oh, and they kept rejecting it, and finally someone was kind enough to say, this is the problem. And that's how I got started. But yeah, I started out as phone sex and then doing affiliate sites for my phone sex sites. And then my first day of camming, I started on My Free Cams in the daytime. And then I did StreamMate at night. Okay. Yeah, I did it both at the same time because that's just me. I like complicating things.
Well, you were trying to figure out what was going to work for you, and I can't really, I mean, no one can fault you for that.
Yeah, so I remember being on MFC. They were so helpful. Show us your tits and people will tip you more. Put your feet up to the camera, BB, and people will tip you more. And I was just dancing around.
Some more. Could you show us your butt and then we'll tip you?
Oh my god. So it was like all kinds of things like that, and I wasn't quite sure if I was being paid, and I was on for a couple of hours, and then when I looked at my numbers, I had only made $30. Oh. I'd only made $30. And so I took a break. I went back and read through everything because I feel like I had been lied to. Like, nah. Tokens are only worth what? I thought tokens were worth $1. What?
No. I was lucky enough to have somebody who, like, I got one of those helpful guys, except I got a helpful guy who was actually helpful. He was like, sit your ass down and don't you dare do anything unless they pay you. And he kept throwing money at me, so I was like, okay, I'll sit right here while you're throwing money at me.
Oh man, girl, you got lucky. I have
so lucky. So lucky. And then I had a whale the next day. Like a mega whale. Biggest whale I've ever hit.
Well, you had a totally different experience.
And then it went downhill because it hit summer. And it got bad fast. Because I made all this money in like the first month or two. I was like, I'm fucking balling. Wow, why didn't I do this sooner? Like, I was like, man, I'm going to be able to buy a house outright within a year. Yeah, no.
Buy a house.
No. No, that did not happen at
That's so
all.
funny. That's what your thought was. Like, I'm gonna buy a house after MFC. I mean, that's a good goal, but yeah, no. So I think I
No.
went to go work that night on StreamMate and had a totally different experience. But I kept up MFC for like a next month, but then I gave it up. I would totally jump into MFC now, knowing what I know now. But as a newbie, nah.
No,
I would exactly
I
recommend it.
admire anybody who works MFC and MFC like exclusively. I
Mm-hmm.
admire the hell out of them because I know that the cam score thing is huge. And honestly, like I'm just so sporadic, like scheduling wise normally
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes I don't want to get on for a week and my cam score would drop and that wouldn't work.
Right.
I need sites that do monthly things.
Right.
Or you can pay for placement, because then I can still do really really well. But on sites like that, like, or even on Chatterbait, like you have to be there and in front of people have to be able to see you all the time in order for you to get popular and for you to make money.
Well, no, all cam sites in general have like a cam score, but it's not as visible. What I
Yeah.
Yeah, they all have some type of algorithm in place where, based on your sales, and mostly what I've determined and figured out, and I've talked to with Boleynmodels also and compared that little data is that the number one reason that you get high placement is if you have a high sign up. If your rate of getting new members to sign up and put on a credit card, new customers outweighs customer retention. So repeat customers, that's great for your pocket. It's great for your
Okay.
pocket, obviously, because they're
Yeah.
repeat customers. So you want to smooth them, you want to take care of them, get to know them, bond with them, repeat customers. But they put a lot of sites, they put more weight on new signups, people who were watching from the outside and who didn't have their information on file. So
Yeah.
models who have the ability, who are so popular and charismatic, they can get people to come in to their site, to their chat room specifically, and sign up for them, because they can track all that shit.
Yeah.
Those are the ones right to the top. So being that you have like a really good spot, it's probably because you are that charismatic and you can get guys to. They're looking at you not signing like, who the fuck is her? Who's she? And then where's my fucking card? Oh my god, I want to talk to her. Even if they don't, and obviously it's a bonus if they actually spend money after signing up.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
so that is one of the number one factors or something. I had something else I wanted to say, but I went off into it. I went off on a
We just went
tangent.
into the abyss.
Yeah, we always in this. We started out talking about women of color, talking about can you make money. Basically, the bottom line is fuck yes, yes you can.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a set style. You don't have to be a certain complexion. You have to be a certain weight. You don't have to have your hair a certain way. Check back in a couple of days. Your homegirl gonna have some purple hair. I mean, whatever.
Ooh.
Yes, girl. I ordered some fucking hair.
Yeah, I thought I saw that. Is it braids?
It's what did I get? Faux locks. I ordered it from
Okay.
Elevated Styles. Let's do a plug for Elevated Styles, girls. You want to get you some
Hey.
hair, but like, yeah, it's I'm gonna do faux locks, and they're already twisted crochet. And they have the
Mm-hmm.
crochet loop, and then I'm gonna attach it to my hair, and
Very
they're
nice.
purple black blend, and that's why, you know what? All right, full disclosure. Yes, I'm doing 3 podcasts tonight for this whatever. The reason I'm doing it is because I'm going to be working on my hair tomorrow. I'm dedicating a 24-hour period to
Oh,
making
yeah.
myself beautiful.
They better be perfect.
So I want to get this podcast out of the way. I got to write some articles and stuff about the podcast and everything in it. I need to promote all this shit. So tomorrow, I'm not going to be thinking about this. I need to be like working about myself, my self care. You know what I'm saying? You got to treat yourself.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Going into the summer, I just wanted like a new look or something, and I figured, what not, a new hairstyle, new hair color. So.
Hmm.
Anyways, I'll be like posting pictures and so forth about that. But yeah, I'll have like purple hair, like purple, like
I'm so
curly and
excited to see this. I don't think you understand how excited I am right now. I know it doesn't sound like I'm super excited, but like
no,
I'm like
no.
in my head, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, that's gonna look so good.
I'm excited too, but I have no. The thing is, though, I'm doing it myself, so
Hmm.
I'm not
Do you,
going to a hairdresser. I'm doing it my damn self. I get it. I
all
know.
right.
I know. The hair.
I've actually I've never had extensions or weave or anything like that. I've
Really?
always never.
Oh my gosh.
It's always been my own hair. Always,
Uh, I
which
have a
is a blessing
yeah.
and a curse.
I mean I have like a lot of hair myself. I'm not attached to it. I'll shave it off. I'll chop it off, and it
Oh
grows back
man, I
real
have such a
quick.
knobby freaking head. I can't shave my head. I can't. I got like a knobby head. Like there are flat spots on there that like they dropped me a few
The
times or
Mars
something. I
rover,
don't
the Mars rover can land on
know.
it. We used
There's some lumps and bumps and like they're just there, but so I have to keep like a decent amount of hair. One of my friends
to-
like shaves her head and it looks amazing. I'm like, I'm always in awe. I'm like, ooh, that would be fun. And then I'm like, no, I have
well,
such a knobby head. People will be laughing their heads off behind me at Starbucks. Like, they be
well,
like,
at
look
least
at
you
this
know.
chick. Oh, yeah.
You don't want to be on
Yeah.
Instagram, somebody's Instagram story or something like, yo, look at this girl at Starbucks. No, but at least you have to like fill your head out. You have to do like an honest inventory of what you're working with.
Oh, yeah.
So I've never
Oh, yeah.
shaved my head completely. I've done like the close cut because I don't have like the best shaped head. But
Hmm.
I'm not attached to hair. Like I'll shave a side of my hair. I'm probably gonna be shaving the back of it. But like yeah, I like putting on wigs, especially for cam. Especially
Hmm.
for cam. Like I'll just plait my real hair down and then I'll throw on like all kinds of like I mean you can the hair game is like on point.
Oh, yeah.
You can do so many different things to make your wigs look more natural.
And there are so many nice wigs now.
And they don't
Like,
even cost a lot of money.
no.
They don't even cost like you don't even have to cost a lot of money. That's why, like sometimes like I see girls, and this is like all girls, all ethnicities who wear wigs. Some of the cosplay girls, I want to like wring their necks because
You want to choke them with their wigs?
I'm just like, what are you doing? When you can see like the stitching and so forth in the wigs, I'm just like, oh
It's
baby
because
girl.
they were never taught. Like, they weren't brought up wearing wigs, probably. So it's
Yeah, that's
probably
true.
second nature.
Right, right. They're not. They're like they don't look like I'm telling you, like the sisters in the hair. Like I just moved back to Florida, by the way. Speaking of hair,
Oh, you did?
I
You
did because
like
I was
it? Oh.
living. I was living outside of Philly for the last couple of
Mm-hmm.
years, which I love Philly. God bless. But we had to move back to Florida,
I
and
don't blame you.
I'm like, bro, it's like there's nowhere else that a black girl can get her hair done or hair did
Mm-hmm.
like with no amount of money than the South.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
nowhere
no.
else that you can get your
No.
hair done that well than the southeastern part of the United States.
No, I will back that up completely.
Yeah,
100%. I
cause
lived I
like,
lived in Tennessee and
uh
I miss my hairdresser so much.
huh.
I'm getting a little emotional. Like I'm feeling like my eyes are starting to water and like my sinuses are tingling because I miss her so much. Like she was amazing. Oh my god, she was so good. And now I live in a very non-diverse area now.
Uh-huh.
So finding a hairdresser is like finding a needle in a haystack. Like normally I wait until I travel and then I'll get it done when I travel.
Yeah, I lived in the UK. I lived in England for a year and a half.
Oh wow.
I had to keep braids in my hair
Oof.
because no disrespect to y'all over there, but y'all sisters don't do hair that good. But like getting they don't do it. It just it's not the same. They don't
Gotta sip
understand.
this tea.
They don't understand how to do edges, girl. They don't know what it means. But like
Mm.
in the South, like getting back in the South, like literally, like if you need to get your hair done, you can go to a beauty supply place, buy your hair, and all you gotta do is stand outside, and there's gonna be somebody that's gonna come in and be like, "Hey, you do braids?"
Yep.
crochets? Do you know how to do sew-ins? You know, whatever you're looking for, you can just stand outside a beauty supply place, and especially Florida, and ask them questions. And you can get a hairdresser and ask her what her Instagram is. And you can look at her portfolio. Like, it's so easy. But when I was like up north, it was like, yeah, I can do hair. And then you start talking to them, you're like, no, you can't. You lied. You lied to me.
Yeah,
wasting my time just because I got. Don't think I won't leave your house just because I got here. I will leave my house, leave your house with my hair half braided, buckwheat hairstyle. I'll get in my car and ride out, girl. Don't think just because I'm here I'm gonna pay you. I did that. I had to do that.
No, you did not.
Tell her like I gotta go make a phone call, and I got in the car and rode out. Girl, I'll be right back. Girl, I'll be right back. Hold on. I got in the car and rode out. I was like, that bitch had me fucked up. She thought I was gonna sit here and pay for this.
Oh god!
You should have saw the plaids though. I wish I took pictures because it was just crazy. Like what is she doing? I could see in the mirror. Like, she don't know what she's doing. I'm leaving.
So part of the reason I'm one of those people who's super attached to their hair. Not just because I have a knobby head. I'm just really attached to it. You have
gorgeous hair. You have a lot of hair, so yeah.
Well, it's taken quite a bit of time to get it this big. I mean, I haven't had more than a trim in, oh god, like 7 years. Like, my hair doesn't grow that fast.
Did you ever dye it? I remember you were asking like questions on suggestions on.
Yes, I've dyed it. I've dyed it off and on over the years. It's just that because you know, I'm multiracial. I have different hair textures on different parts of my hair. So some of it, yeah.
It's not consistent?
Like, no. No, like
you have an afro section and then you got a wet and wavy section.
No, I have straight hair from like if you were to like touch my earlobes and go to the back of my neck, like the back of my head, like fingers like right across the back of the head, all of that's straight. It's like not dead straight, but pretty damn close. It's like baby fine straight hair. And then right above it, like if you go up to like the crown of my head, that's where it's like super duper curly.
So you got your nappy kitchen is at the top of your head.
Yes.
That's so funny. People are like, what's the kitchen? The kitchen is the place that's at the nape of your neck, what's usually the thick and the most dense. Most people, that's your kitchen. So your kitchen is at the crown.
Yep, and it goes over everything and just weighs it down.
Girl.
Oh god, it's a mess.
You are so special.
Don't you know it?
I don't know if I've ever heard. I mean, I haven't seen everybody's head, but like the straight part is the back part with the kitchen at. Oh my gosh.
No. And like it's funny. Yeah, like I just have different hair textures depending on where you are, like in my hair, you know, like around my ears too. That seems to be pretty straight. But above that, like, you know, 2 inches, then it's curly again. So like, yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. So I'm really attached to my hair, and unless I find somebody who knows how to do my hair, who has dealt with hair like mine, it's a fucking disaster. I can't tell you how many times I've gone in wanting a shortcut and ended up looking like a mushroom. Like,
what do you mean? Like
just going fucking out. Like going fucking out like fluff. No, because my hair's just like it just doesn't curl unless it has product in it. And if they cut it too short when it's wet, by the time if they let it dry naturally, it's just a mushroom head.
Girl,
like
you need to like. I think you know what. I think you need to like treat yourself to a trip to the Southeast, Georgia. Maybe bring your ass to Atlanta and Miami, wherever, and just like let somebody
go to Disney World. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, whatever. Just let somebody get their hands on there and like, because I have curly hair too. It's curl, not quite like your texture, but I have curly hair, and for years I didn't know what to do with it. But someone had to teach me how to take care of my hair.
Oh yeah.
Someone had to actually like say, "Oh, well, this is what you need to do. These are the type of products you need to use. This is the type of thing you need to do, whatever." So we just running about hair.
I'm sorry, everybody. We're talking about hair.
We're talking about hair. Like, yo, it's like a black girl concern. But yeah, but like sometimes like when I'm on cam, because I have wild hair, I sometimes just slap a wig on, but then I get bored. But like I usually just do like a messy bob type of wig or something.
You have some really nice wigs too.
Yeah, thank you.
Like they all look super awesome on you.
I watch
so it's like, what's she doing with her hair? Like, I'm always excited to see what you're doing with your hair because you always do something. And
yeah,
it always looks great.
I watch a lot of YouTube tutorials. Like some of my favorite girls, like this one who her name is My Style. It used to be My Style Yo. MYSTYLE Yo. But if you do a search on YouTube for just My Style Hair, you'll see her page. Because like she will take any wig and you'll look at it straight out the box, out the pack, and you're like, ew, like really, girl, you turn that shit into like what this? I'm just seriously Google her, do her on YouTube, and you'll see her page and you'll be like, damn. And it's not just like wigs for black women. White women, Latino, anybody could use these wigs, but she has like wig tips that to make them look natural, and then you can work your angles, and then if you're on cam, and it doesn't cost a lot of money, so you can be crazy poofy hair, and you can pin it down, do whatever you want.
Yeah, I call YouTube Saint YouTube because they have so many wonderful tips, and especially for camming. Because like you have to do your makeup differently when you're on camera versus like everyday makeup. Like like, you know, like if you're going out with your friends, you wear different makeup than you do on cam normally. At least I have to. Like I have to do my eyebrows completely differently because otherwise I look like I have no eyebrows. Or they look really weird. And like YouTube's been a huge source of like information, you know, like
so what do you think what do you think is different? Like what's different between your everyday makeup versus your cam makeup? What's the difference that you've noticed?
I wear a lot more of it. Like I have freckles. Nobody knows that a few people like actually know that I have freckles because I cover it with makeup. But I have freckles. So if I'm just like going out, normally I just slop on some mascara and, you know, put my eyebrows on and that's about it. But if I'm like going on cam, then I do a full face of makeup. Like I definitely put time in, you know, I put 45 minutes an hour into making sure my face looks right. No, because I really like I have a dimple in my chin. Like I make sure I buff that out. You know,
why?
I don't like because it's uneven. It's not even.
I'm looking at your boobies right now. You're looking at my boobies, by the way. I'm looking at her boobies on Skype.
She has such nice boobies.
I can see your chin, but I can't see anything with a dimple. Well,
that's because I put highlighter in there and I have strong lighting, so you can't see it. So it just looks even. So that was a YouTube trick I learned. Somebody like went on and they had like super bad acne scars, and they're like, so if you put highlighters in these spots where she had like really bad pox marks, she's like, if you put highlighter in these spots, then the light reflects off of it and you can't see it in pictures. And I was like, I wonder if that would work for cam. Boom, it worked for cam.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I noticed that like when I do my cam makeup, I can do it for like my independent shows. I do a minimum. I mean, this might be kind of fucked up because I feel like they've already paid. I'm not going all out for them. I don't go all out.
You're bad.
I know. I do make myself look good, but I don't go all out with like the highlighter on the nose, the crown, the eyebrows. I don't do all that shit. I slap on concealer and some bright ass red lipstick. That's all they want. They just want to fuck your mouth. They don't care. But like when I'm doing free chat,
maybe yours.
For me, anyway. Okay, me.
I don't look good with lipstick. That's another story. Anyways, continue.
But like, so when I'm doing cam for free chat, it takes a lot of time. So I do the contouring, I do the highlight, I do the heavy eyeliner that I like. I don't do mascara. But one day I was getting in my car and I had just finished doing a shift and I was going to go run errands, and I get in the car and my neighbor comes and starts talking to me, and she's just looking at me really strange. She's an old lady. And I'm like, what the hell is her problem? So I get in the car and I look in the rearview mirror. My face looked like a lava highlighter Crisco. Like somebody just slapped some fucking cooking grease on my face.
Oh god,
I was so greasy, and
I get so greasy.
And I put all these layers of makeup from like camming makeup, and I'm like, this is natural lighting. And I looked at myself and I just fell out laughing because my face looked like you could have fried an egg on my face.
I know the look so well,
and then there was a crease on my eyelid.
Oh god!
on like,
do you get the ones the smile lines?
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. That's where I get like a full like lines there.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like, okay, 20 minutes before, guys are like, oh, you're so hot, baby. You're so sexy, baby. I love talking to you. Your face. Get closer to the camera, baby, because I'm gonna come on your face. They start telling you like shit like that, like because they always want to come on my face. And I'm like, what is that all about? But they just want to like fucking tell you nasty shit. But then that same makeup, I guarantee, if that same guy saw me in real life,
yeah,
he'd be like, ooh,
he'd be like, man,
give me my comeback. Give me my comeback. I don't want to come on your face. Give it back. Give it back. Give it back. I want a refund. I don't like leaving deposits on your face anymore. I want my fucking cum deposit.
I'd like to make a return. I'd like this return.
Let me speak to a manager. Let me speak to a manager. But yeah, they don't even know what we do. Like, I'm not like, oh, that's so bad. But yeah, it's not all smoke and mirrors. We're all beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful women. But like the lighting helps. So.
Oh yeah.
For anybody
it's really funny. It's really funny. Like if I get on cam and like because I've definitely tried it out. Like not wearing much makeup on cam. I don't make as much.
I can't pull it off.
I can't either.
I can't pull it off. So.
And it's just like I mean, I think there's a variety of reasons. But in real life, like if I go to the grocery store and I'm not wearing makeup, I normally dress like a 90s grunge band member.
I already know what you're about to say, but go ahead. Yeah.
Like I'll go to Target and like men will be falling over themselves.
Yo, what's up?
And it's like I'm wearing like I understand that like I'm generally attractive, but I haven't showered in 2 days and I'm wearing plaid and sweatpants. Like I am not, and Uggs. Like I am not dressed up right now. What are you doing?
Why are we here right now? That's another thing. I used to notice that too. I worked in a fast food place, whatever, or catering, and I would go to. There was this one Chinese place I would go to with my uniform on, and every time I went there, it was like a joke. Like I knew I could get my next baby daddy if I wanted it. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted it like that. My next baby daddy was sitting there waiting for me already. But I was not feeling, I was like done. Like I've been working like 8 hours on my feet, greasy. Yeah. And stuff like that. But apparently that's attracted to them. But if you get on cam like that, no, probably not as much. So like, some people might pull it off. Some people might can do the girl next door, but even the girl next door is still wearing makeup.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's still wearing makeup. She's just wearing some good makeup and knows how to work her angles, her face. And angles is another thing. I was talking to somebody about this. Excuse me. I was talking to someone about this. It was brand new. She was a newbie. And I was trying to help her with getting set up. And she was constantly looking down. Oh. She was reading her computer chat room, and I was trying to give her tips. One major tip, and I'll say this, you can give your tips too also, but like if you're brand new if you want, use a TV as a monitor. If you already have a flat screen TV, get an HDMI cable and hook your laptop, your desktop, whatever, to that monitor. So this way, when you're reading your screen, your head is held up, elevated, and then keep your camera somewhat slightly above your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, because looking up, there's only a few people who look great with an upward angle looking up at them. Most people do not look good like that.
No.
That's only reserved for like ass worship, giantess type shows where you're supposed to tower over them. But like when
and also where it's far away. So
yeah, exactly, when it's far away. But like if you are just chilling in free chat, trying to get guys to entice them, work your angles. Put your camera up. You can get like GoPro sticks that you can mount your camera on. Like they're bendable. You can adjust it. Put the camera. Yeah, I'm gonna write an article about this shit like later on tonight. So I'm gonna include all of that stuff in there. I'll try to. Anyways.
You can also get a $12 Amazon tripod. That's what I did. But yeah, like.
Well, yeah, but see, tripods. The thing about tripods is that. Are you talking about like how high is that $12 tripod?
Well, I'm 5 foot, so I'm a short little bitch.
God damn, you're little. That's
I am. People always think I'm like 5'8", 5'9", but I'm like 5 foot.
Girl.
Yeah. It's something. I don't know. Anyways, but I also like angle my camera so it makes me look taller. So you know, like if I'm doing clips, like I always have my webcam on a tripod, and normally I keep it a little below eye level, but near eye level. If I'm sitting down, because it makes me look a little taller. But I also make sure my seat is lower than like where my where about like 1.5 foot lower than where my tripod is. Like I have a short torso, so like for me it works. Like
yeah,
the
so
way
that's
that
the
I
point. Like it's different for different people. You got to look at your body and so forth. Because I'm 5'5", I'm a big juicy girl, so it's like it looks better for the titties and like looking up with the eye, like doing eye contact for my camera to be well above my head. But I can see for someone who's 5'5" and maybe smaller, well, that would be a good angle. So we have to like look at your angles. Like if you're not making money, guys are not staying in your room. It doesn't mean that like, oh, they don't like me because I'm this or they don't like me because I'm that. It could just be a simple thing of fixing your lighting, fixing your angle,
making more eye contact.
Making eye contact with the camera, looking at them like they are the best thing in the world, like you're only talking to them. I can't say that enough. And then, because the truth is, when you're on cam, there's always someone watching.
Oh, yeah.
There's always someone watching. A lot of guys will watch you before they come into the camera. Yeah. So, yeah. They don't think, oh, my room is empty. There's no one here, so why am I performing? And then another trick I was telling.
Don't pick your nose. Oh, sorry. I was reading a review of a Camgirl one time.
You're not supposed to do that?
Surprise! Well, I mean, if they pay you to do that, I mean, I know
no, you couldn't pay me. But... Nah, I'm sorry because no. Okay, whatever. Sorry, I don't want to shame nobody's kink, but nah, I'm not doing that. You're not gonna catch me.
Everybody has something that they won't do.
Nah, like it's the.
I don't know. Price are right. If somebody gives me $15,000, I'm gonna shove a finger up there.
Okay, all right. It has to be like some good money because I don't want to like my grandbabies finding me like, Grandma, I saw you
digging your nose,
digging for gold. I'm okay with burping, cake sitting, and playing with balloons, but fisting and burping and scat, I don't know. I gotta put a down payment on a house or something. I don't know. I gotta do something different for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, so like I make pee videos. I won't do pants wetting though. Like that's my thing. Like I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
You try to lie.
Yeah, like that's a line for me. You want me to pee in a jar? I will pee in a jar. I'm not gonna pee my pants though. Like for me, that's Yeah, for me, because it's like, for me, like, I'm not submissive, so for me, like, pants wetting, I guess, like, in my brain is like, oh, you're acting submissive.
Uh-huh.
So, like,
Well,
you're
it's not
losing
just
control of the
that,
situation.
but it's also a matter of it's touching your skin. You're peeing yourself.
Yeah,
You're calling it pants wetting, but it's really peeing yourself.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's that. I had a person the other day. I did a show where the guy wanted to. I'll just say it. He wanted to watch me pee,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "Are you for real?" And it was first thing in the morning, and it was so funny because I really had to pee. I didn't calculate it before time. I was like, I probably should have did this before. And I was just like sitting there, like, it was so amazing and funny at the same time because I was so uncomfortable and I was just thinking, like, man, I hope he doesn't want me to masturbate because it's going to be difficult having to pee and masturbate. And then he told me, he says, remember we talked because he had started out as a phone sex customer.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about peeing. And then I said, fuck yeah. So I, so I brought like the camera. I like my whole setup is on wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I was able to just brood it over to the bathroom.
Sex
And then,
on
boom,
wheels. Sorry.
sex on wheels. There you go. Pee on wheels. And we were able to do the show. Something like, and I was like so relieved. And then he told me afterwards, he's like, I couldn't really hear you. I could hear it. He couldn't hear it. He wanted to hear it hit the water. And I
Yeah.
was just like relieved. And he was like, but the look on your face was enough. Because you could tell it was authentic. But
Oh yeah.
I was like, thank you so much. But like usually when I do like phone calls, like I don't do those a lot. Phone calls, I usually just grab a bottle of water.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm giving the secret away, but I don't give a fuck. But like I just hit like a bottle of water and I hit the toilet with the bottle of water. But
Mm-hmm.
like the one time I actually do an authentic pee show, the dude couldn't even hear it. But he could tell that I
Oh,
was like, ah. But yeah, I have like limits, but even though those limits, they change per day.
really?
I don't, like, there's some hard limits. Like, I mean, scat, no,
Yeah, that's
I
that.
would never, that's a, no. I
I
could do
mean, you throw enough money at me, maybe,
push-ups.
but it's gonna have to be like in the tens of thousands, and then I might consider it. Maybe, maybe. And you gotta pay my lawyer fees if anybody comes after me. Um,
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like everybody has their limits, but that I would say my uh will be scat and then and fisting.
yep.
Yeah,
I
like
have my nails done. I can't do that.
I can't do it. Every time, like I think you and I bring, I think every time I talk to you, we end up talking about fisting. But
Yes.
it's like okay. So I'm not into it. Okay, I'm not into fisting. I'm not into it, but I am amazed by it. It's like a train wreck or a car accident when you're going by.
I'm always impressed.
Like she has a whole forearm, and
Yeah.
it could be the booty hole or the vajayjay. But like I look at my Twitter feeds on multiple Twitter feeds and I'm like scrolling and you like somebody you talk to and you're like cool with and you're like, oh damn, she's awesome. And then it's a whole nother perspective when you see her with someone's forearm in her.
Yep. Yeah, I saw some chick shooting tangerines out of her vagina once. My whole perspective changed. It blew my mind.
A
I was really impressed, I'm not gonna lie.
tangerine.
Yeah, like the little tangerine, like the little Satsuma oranges.
Imagine what she could do with a fucking penis that goes in there.
Right.
If
But
she
no,
had
she
that
was
type of
like,
control to push it out.
yeah. Well, she was like shooting them out. It was kind of cool. I was like, it would be really cool if she had like bouncy balls and like a hardwood floor who was doing that and like making them bounce. I'm
I
sorry. Where my mind went.
I saw something a couple of years ago where a girl had a flashlight
Mm-hmm.
and she had it tightly. The flap was closed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this is on Chatterbait. Of course it was.
Of course it was.
Of course it was. And you're sitting there watching her, and it said flashlight show, and I'm like, the fuck is a flashlight show? So she's sitting there, and when she finally hit her goal, she started shaking her legs like a butterfly type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then her vagina lips, slowly started opening. And the light, I saw the light, girl. I saw the fucking light.
Did you come towards the light?
I came towards the light because I literally jumped up and put my face to my monitor like, what is this? What is this? And then she opened wide and there was a bright ass spotlight coming from her vagina. Oh. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh. It was, she had a flashlight. That was, yeah, okay, but wait. The thing is though, I watched her for 20 minutes before the show, before she opened her legs. It was on the entire time in her vagina. Doesn't that get hot?
I mean, like, depends on the flashlight. Like,
I guess she must have.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say she had a high grade flashlight with Teflon or something wrapped around it. But like,
ooh,
it was
fancy.
Yeah, she had like a high end flashlight, but it was sitting there and like, oh, the angel started singing. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh.
And then like the tips started coming in, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna call her out. Like, I'll call out the other girls, but I'm not gonna call her name out. But anyways, she still let it, and she's fucking amazing. But
oh man,
that's kind of crazy.
We have to do some investigating. Okay, I gotta ask then. Is that like the craziest show you've seen on cam?
Oh fuck.
Like,
I've seen okay. One of the craziest shows, because like I've cammed with a dude before, a partner, and we were on ChatterBait. We have a couple's account on ChatterBait, and started watching the competition, and I understand that. Yes. Yeah. So we were watching this one girl, and she was riding a man's dick, and she was riding his dick was big, okay? And while she was riding it, it was like the slush from her vagina was like leaving. It was like creamy, right? So we're sitting there like, okay, that'll be cool. That's a little too much, but okay, whatever. I'm sitting there thinking about her pH balance, really, is what I'm thinking. Like, what does she eat? What's going on here? So after
some people are just creamy.
Yeah, but no, this is different. This is more than that. And so so after she done riding him, she gets up, and we're thinking that's going to be an end, and then a guy popped onto the scene, and the guy she had just finished fucking popped in his mouth, and then he spit it back in her mouth.
Alrighty then. I think you may have this round.
Yeah, so we're me and my dude, we're watching it like, whoa, because we're doing research. We're like, yo, you say I won this round, we said they won that round. Like, they got this. We're watching them, but we ain't doing that, okay? We're like, yeah. So she fucked the one dude, and it was like all kinds of slush on his dick. He popped in that dude's mouth, and then the dude spit into her mouth, and I was just like, fucking ChatterBait. #1 campsite. That's why. That is why. But go ahead, tell me. Go ahead, entertain me.
I mean, that one's pretty good.
I've seen some other like crazy stuff, but yeah, I don't wanna give Camming a bad name.
I think we've all seen a few of those things. They're just like, why?
Yeah, some things people got banned for, but
yeah. Okay, craziest. So the two things come to mind, but they're both guy cams. I tend not to watch female cams that much. Like, it's just
there's some gorgeous men in Camland, aren't there?
Yeah, there are a few.
There's some
really.
Oh my gosh, yes. And then one last thing I want to cut you off with. My free cam? No, not my free cams. Oh my god, it's driving me crazy. It's like cam site, but it's like mostly known for like gay cams.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it's driving me crazy. It's not My Free Cams, obviously. It's not ChatterBait. It's not Cam4. It's not Cams.com. It's not Stream8. What the fuck are we talking about? Free webcams? Oh my gosh. Anyways. Anyways,
I know the site you're talking about. Those primarily dudes.
Yeah. They have girls and everybody else, but like they have the hottest men. Anyways, go with your story. I'm sorry.
Anyways, I had a okay. Craziest thing I've seen, like somebody like just live streaming, just streaming it, was a dude fucking a watermelon. And then eating it afterwards. But he had like sound effects going on in the background.
What?
Like this music build up for oh yeah. And he came in the watermelon and then he ate it, by the way.
What site was this?
Chatterbait. He got banned after a few months, and I was really upset because he was always fucking fruit, and it was so amusing.
Obviously, this was Chatterbait.
Where else would it be? But Watermelon Guy, that was always interesting for me personally. I was always excited to see what he was doing, you know.
He fucked the watermelon. He put a in it.
Yeah. Anyways.
And then he came in it, and then
he came in the watermelon, yes. And then he'd like chop the top off the watermelon and just eat it. And he'd sit there and chit chat with you.
While he's eating his common watermelon.
Yes. He was like, I'm not gonna waste it.
Duh, like who would do that?
No, you stuck your dick in it, so obviously you aren't valuing it very much, but whatever. Anyway. So that's like, and he would like fuck other fruit, but that was the first time I saw that, and I was like, my mind was blown.
I'm gonna go look for him. I want to know where he is now.
Oh, but, yeah. Like, I haven't seen him in years. Like, this is years ago.
Girl, you know how it is. It's all been recorded. Everything has been documented. It's all right there.
Yeah, you find it, please send me a copy. I would love that.
Fucker. Oh my god.
Just so I can have a good laugh. Jesus. Let's see. That, had a guy do cam to cam with me once, and he was like, I can stick my dick in my ass. And I was like, no, you can't.
Prove it.
He proved me wrong. He proved me wrong.
He tucked it under and sat on it? Like, what?
No, it was like hard enough where he had a long ass dick. It was like hard enough where like he could like, it was soft enough where he could bend it. But it was like hard enough where he could shove it in his own ass. I swear to God. I've never seen anything like it. This is like a year and a half ago, and like it is burned in my memory.
Wait, so he had to tuck it under though and pop it in?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And he had like a huge fucking dong. I didn't even know it was possible, and then I saw it, and I was like, huh.
You got me beat. Like I thought it was something, because I've seen guys who are able to suck their own. Oh yeah, I've seen that before, like more times than ever. I'm not even impressed with it anymore. Like no, guys
they're
are
not
flexible
enough
some of them are flexible enough to do it. They don't even have to have big ones, and then some of them they're so big they can just lean forward and do it. And I'm like, hell, if I was a dude and I could reach it, I would suck it too. You know what I mean? But a guy who could fuck himself.
It wasn't really fucking. He like just put it in his ass.
He teased himself.
Like the head was in, but it was enough for me to go, huh?
That's different.
Yeah,
that's different.
Goodbye, everybody. I'll remember you all in therapy. I'm gonna need it. You're who I talk about to my therapist. This week I saw some dude with his dick in his ass.
At what point do you realize that you can do that?
Right? Like,
what's going on?
Like, I was more like kind of in awe than anything. Like, it wasn't like I was grossed out or like I wasn't excited by it at all. I was just like, huh, that's kind of nifty. You got your own dick in your ass. That's super, man. Like,
that probably wasn't the reaction he was going for.
I was just like, huh. Like, I was very much in awe. You know?
You gotta tell me who he is later. Just like, the guy who could like fucking tickle his own.
He's on StreamMate. He's a regular dude on StreamMate.
He could tickle his own pucker with his pecker. Oh my gosh. Girl, okay, so we are at the end of shit guys say to Camgirls, or the shit guys exposed to Camgirls. We should probably change this episode.
Reasons we need therapy.
Reasons why we need therapy. Okay, so yeah, oh my gosh, we covered a lot of ground. We talked about women of color, people of color. Yeah, people who can sit on their own cocks. We've talked about bukkake with threesomes. What else we talk about? Yeah, I think we got it all covered, right?
Talked about fucking watermelons. I mean,
fucking water stuff. There we go. Yeah.
All in a day's work.
Oh my gosh, I love talking to you, girl. So, okay, we are at the end of episode, which episode is it? 13?
13.
Okay, episode 13 on a Friday. It ain't Friday the 13th, but it's episode 13. Episode of Shit Guys Say to Camgirls, sponsored by Boleynmodels. I am TajaEtheral. This is Kendi Cumming. Tell people how they can reach you. By the way, I'm sorry. Before I get off here.
Follow me on Twitter at Kendi Cumming. One word.
One word, not with the S, but
no.
K-E-K-E
like I'm coming.
Kendicumming.
There we go. Right there. You can also find me on StreamMate. But Twitter's probably best because then you can find all the links. Stalk the hell out of me, guys.
See cool pictures of her dog.
Yes.
Her puppy. Her dogs.
Yes. Dogs. I have two. One of them's kind of camera shy. The other one's stupidly photogenic. He's such a cute little loaf.
Yeah, I saw your last picture. So, okay, yeah, so that's what we have for today. I think that's going to be really entertaining, you guys.
I don't know, we might lose some people during the hair thing.
If we lose them, fuck you, we don't care.
We care about you, just fast forward.
You'll be back, I guarantee you'll be back. You can't stay away. When you hear this type of filth, you're just going to be like, oh, God bless them. I fucking hate what they talk about. Let's see what they're talking about next week. So, yeah. That's how it always is. So, yeah, we're at the end, episode 13, Shit Guys Say to Camgirls. And I bid you all a good night. And thank you, Kendi.
Why, thank you for having me.
Have a good night, girlie. Bye-bye.
You too.